Alright, so we were expecting to shoot this video tomorrow, but it's a beautiful day outside in Jersey, so this actually works out. These guys came from Pennsylvania. Jim's Worm Farm. Check them out. I've been getting redworms from them for probably about 5 years now. So we're gonna put some in Nonno's backyard. Came in a FedEx package, so because there's aeration holes in there, some of the worms, you know, they find their way out, which is expected. So we'll hydrate these guys because it doesn't look like they're too dehydrated. But they're looking good. But normally they'd be moving a little quicker, especially the little one. So the boys don't know they came. They think they're coming tomorrow, so I'll show them now. And we'll see Nonno's reaction to the worms. Alright, I got something you guys can add to your pasta. I got something you guys can add to your pasta. What? They broke out of the box. These three are like the superhero of the worm colony. Alright, let's put it in your pasta. Let's see if we can put the worm in the pasta and if you ever see it. Worms are high in protein, eh? You don't want to eat one? Huh? Alright, so I'm going to show you the process of hydrating these guys a little bit. And then we'll see Nonno's reaction. That's what this video is all about, right? To show Nonno. So we've had worms in the kitchen before, remember? Like 2 or 3 years ago? Yeah. I don't think I ever posted that one, but that was when we were starting.
They made a question mark.
They're like some super worms who can do grammatical punctuations and such. Yeah, he probably got out through the holes. So like I was saying before, these are redworms. So these guys are great at Milo. These guys are great, so we use them a lot in for composting. He probably won't show any interest in the worms. He could, but hey Milo, look, yo, Milo, look, what's this? What is that, Milo? Milo, what is that? Milo, did you eat worms when you were living on the streets of Jersey City? No? Guess not. So yeah, we use them a lot in for composting. We've had a couple STEAM expeditions, formerly Project Reservoir teams. Like we had a worm army team. We have a worm team now. So we have a lot of different bins. We probably have a couple hundred, if not close to 1,000 redworms within our school. But these are not going to the school. These are going to be used in the garden outside. So we planted some seeds. No, that one's just a little dehydrated, right? So if you take a look outside, oh look, there he is. There he is. He's outside. The Nonno. Who's going in that chair again? Remember in that other video?
Yeah.
Here he comes. Looks like he's aerating the soil. So we got to tell him the worms will aerate the soil for you. Oh, we can't do that to worms though. Ouch! See, that's called aerating the soil. See what he's doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you see what he's doing?
Yeah.
He's taking the bananas that you guys ate in the morning and he just buried the banana peel. Worms would love to eat that. And they break down those nutrients so it's absorbed by the roots of the plant. So worms are great. That's called a casting. That's called worm poop. A casting. Mr. Pelly, watch this. Ask him if he likes worms.
Do you like worms?
Do you like worms?
What?
A worm. I don't know. So he don't know. So we're gonna put worms back there in that bathtub. So we're gonna have a worm garden back there, and then eventually we can take them out and then infuse them in the other beds there. But that one's gonna be protected from the birds. Plus it's shaded right now, so you would never want to take these worms and put them out in direct sunlight or anything like that. Because the worms would have a feast, and they could still be a little dehydrated, so they're not going to have their full activity. So it's actually a good time to put them in. It's a little cool today. And we have Nonno in the yard, so this is perfect. So let's get those worms out of the bucket. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So wow, those three worms are pretty impressive. So I was thinking for a second. Sometimes I used to order crickets. This is actually perfectly moist. So there's Uncle Jim's Worm Farm. Giving Uncle Jim some props here. It's a family-owned business. Check that one out. This guy's like the leader. Ethan does, what's that science thing you watch with that guy?
Mystery Science.
Mystery Science. So Mystery Science even connected with this guy. So I know Mr. Brown, because he has an account there, he was able to get some free worms. Well, obviously, they paid Uncle Jim, but from the company. So this is, I believe I ordered 250 of them. So that's kind of cool. So these free worms are like, they got out of this bag, which is kind of cool. Oh, look, they have some friends too. So we have some other escapees as well. And even from being outside the bag, they're still pretty cool and actually hydrated. Except like Brian said, that little guy there. So far we had 5. So these are like the super escape little worms here. But these guys are amazing. So I first learned about these. So Project Reservoir won an award probably about 6 years back. It's like some Green Advisory award from Kane University. And we went there, and there was a lady there. I don't know her name, but she was there with a couple students, and she showed how effective the worms were at breaking down cardboard and newspaper. And she showed us like a timeline, and it was amazing. And we've had these in the classroom, and I've put, you name it. I've put pizza in there. I've put, anytime the kids, a lot of times you give the students papers to take home. The 8th graders, they don't take them home. So we'll throw them in there, and you give the worms some time, and then it's all gone. Even this, they would have no problem breaking down this too, without any issues. Everything on it would be gone. So let's open up the bag.
Open it. Open it. Open it.
Any idea what's on TV tonight? People watching?
Open it.
The boys are big fans of The Masked Singer, so.
Open it. Open it. Open it.
Oh, another one. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and dump them out because you can't see in there. The ones we got in the past were green bags.
Open it.
How much
Open it.
I think I ordered 250 or 500. I don't remember.
That is not much. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, see, there's gonna be a lot probably left in that bag still, so we have to cut that and get it out without cutting any worms. Yeah, we'll just cut the bag and stick that in the soil too. So yeah, here's the. So you can see it's a little dry in there. So we'll moisturize these guys up and go ahead and put them. We'll dump them straight into the soil out there. It rained a lot here in Jersey, probably in Pennsylvania too yesterday. So it's already nice and moist. So there'll be no issues there. And within about 90 days or so, these guys will probably double in their population. So that's pretty cool. So Ethan has a clump on his hand right there. There's one trying to escape. All right.
When did the city slow down?
Yeah, so this is cool stuff.
Still alive.
Yeah, so we got to get the rest out of that Uncle Jim bag. And then we're going to moisten these a little bit here. Just put a little water so they can hydrate. And then we'll get changed and bring them outside and show Nonno the bucket. And then that's the reaction we're looking for, right? What do you think Nonno's reaction is going to be?
I don't know.
Hey,
what are you doing?
So then we have to explain the science, the soil science to Nonno to tell him that these are a benefit. My guess is he's going to say this. You ready for it? He's going to say, don't put it in the tub, or the birds are going to eat it. What do you think he's going to say?
What are you doing?
How about you?
He's gonna say he's bad or like.
He's going to say the worms are bad?
No.
Oh, he might say the worms are going to eat the plants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's going to think the worms are going to eat his seeds. I'm going with that one instead. We'll see. All right? Let's get a live feed on Nonno real quick. What do you think? I think he's in the chair. There he is. He's in his position. No Hot Wheels attacked the Nonno today. It's worm attack. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, so Ethan's doing his first video in here. See, the important thing, if you ever get a bag, you got to make sure, keep it steady, I got it. You got to make sure you always look, because the worms are going to go to an area where there's a lot of moisture. And you can see the majority, well, not the majority, but at least 100 worms were still in the bag. So never, if you get it, never throw out the bag itself, right? Your hand's in the way, baby. Move that hand over there. Because you're going to throw out a lot of worms. Your hand, dude. I just got it. Stop moving. Stop moving. You're gonna make everyone dizzy. All right, so we're gonna put them in the bin. I've hydrated a little bit, and then if you still look inside the bag, all right, I got this, baby. Thank you. If you still look inside the bag, you'll see there's still a lot of worms left in there, right? So always make sure to check the bag, especially the corners. All right. I even had a worm going inside the cardboard, inside the corrugated part of the cardboard. So I actually went through there and checked to make sure there was no worms in there. So leave no worms behind.
No.
Another thing you have to be worried about. Some of the worms actually put themselves in the threading of the bag. They'll eventually get themselves out. You can let gravity help. See that? So I was mistaken. I checked Instagram, and we actually had 3 worm teams in the history of our project. So the current worm team is wormtastics_28. That's their Instagram, I guess their Twitter as well. So that's a look at the team. So they do a lot of work with our population of redworms in the school, and they're all from Uncle Jim's. And if you want to check out our main page for our nationally recognized science program, you can check that out. If you just Google STEAM Expeditions, this site will eventually come up, and you can take a look at some of our Pix 11 News. There's an American graduate from SciTech Now. Right? You just take a look at some of our stuff, and I'm sure you're gonna find some worm videos on there too. If you ever have an indoor worm bin, which I've had, you just gotta make sure when you're adding the moisture to it that even if you're putting like fruits and stuff like that naturally have moisture, eventually it's gonna add potentially too much moisture to the soil, so you're gonna create a pool, and worms breathe through their skin. So they always have to have a way to, obviously get air, so they can't fully submerge. Although some redworms, we grow them actually in our aquaponic systems, and they do. Some can stay underwater for a considerable amount of time, but they are going to need that, to aerate themselves. So just make sure there's a proper drainage in any basin you're doing. So if it's an outdoor compost bin, obviously you don't have to worry. But if you're doing inside bins, make sure they have drainage. Because we do both. We have outdoor bins, we have inside bins, and I'm going to show you with Ryan E how we can just convert basically a bathtub out there into a worm bin. And then from there we'll regrow the colony and then distribute it to other beds within Nonno's garden. Alright, so give you some background info if you have some time today. Take a look at some of the things we do.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, so Nonno went back in the house because you guys took forever to eat lunch, right? Yeah. So we got the bucket of worms. We're going to go show Nonno. Don't dump those worms in the living room. Go. Go show. Go tell Nonno what you have in there. See, Nonno, look in the bucket.
I had some worms. I had the worms. But no, that's the worms. The worms are... No.
He wants you to look in there, Mr. Player.
I know, look, I don't want.
No, you got to look in there and see what it is.
I don't know.
He start moving it. No, look in the bucket. No. Look in the bucket, look. Here, look, no.
Where did they get them?
He got it for the garden, look.
Oh, I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. Worm, come on. Put it down. What are you doing?
It's gonna go for the in your
Worm,
garden.
what do
It's
you
gonna be.
You know what? The worms are good for the garden.
I don't know. What's the come on. Because they can cut in worm underneath. They cut it. No good. They go through it. No garbage. Come on.
You want me to put the
worm?
worm?
Over there. Was they cut all plants?
What do you mean they cut the plants?
Yeah, I know that. Come on. I don't want that. No, what's wrong with the garbage?
You can't throw it in the garbage.
Yeah, I don't want this over the backyard. Yeah, you cut everything.
Worms don't cut plants.
Yeah, come on, put it over there. We don't want them there.
With stupid
Oh, come on.
No.
So we told you guys that reaction with Nonno would be a classic one, right?
Yeah.
So who was right there? What did you say upstairs, E?
I said he would say the worms eat the plants.
Yeah, I know. I said that too. So poor Nonno, he thinks the worms eat plants. So I told you, you got to YouTube Italian farming, and we got to show him a worm video in Italian. Hopefully that exists on YouTube. If not, we'll have Nonno make one. He'll say, "Oh, don't get the worms; they eat the plants." All right, bring the bucket in the back.
I thought thought he was gonna say, "What are you doing?" But he did say it.
I'm surprised he's not coming out here. He said he wants us to throw the worms in the garbage. Uncle Jim's worm farm. He wants you to throw all the worms out. Go ahead, so go back there.
So we put in some plants here,
Yeah, we put about a bunch of seeds in there.
and it's torn somewhere.
Yeah, we can't tell Nonno about the corn. Although I think it's a little too cold for the corn to come up, but we tried it back there. We can plant more corn. So yeah, we're gonna lift off this thing right now. It's acting like a little greenhouse. See, we'll lift it up. We're gonna dump the worms in there.
And now?
Yeah, but don't like that's kale probably growing right there. Or see,
Yeah.
we planted the kale and broccoli here. So, yeah. So try to dump it in the middle right there. Straight. Don't let the bucket hit. Keep it in the middle. Don't knock the worms. In the middle of the. You're gonna knock the worms out of the. Dump it in the middle right there. The whole thing. Ethan, you're gonna knock the worms out of the out of the thing.
Yeah.
Let Ryan help. Switch spots with Ryan. Dump it in the center, right? You gotta shake it out because the soil's a little moist. I moistened and hydrated it, so. Right, a little easy. I'll get them out with my hand. I'll get the rest out. Alright. Right, I got it. I'll scrape them out there. It's okay. Alright, so there you have it. So they're in the bathtub.
Yes.
They're looking to burrow and investigate the soil beneath here.
Oh, it was already behind that. It's moving the soil.
Yeah, they're gonna find the way they want to go here. See, they're looking for spots to dig. The soil's a little tough. But that one found its way.
Where? Oh yeah, right there.
It's going under. They'll get through the little cracks.
Look.
Where'd it go?
No, I just ran that little hole.
He's gone?
Yeah, no, he's right there.
Where?
His little tail. His little tail at the end. Oh, he disappeared. He's right in that
He
little.
burrowed?
Oh, he's right there now. He went over there. He's over there now.
That's the best thing to do. You just dump them in a center pile and they all kind of find their way. Let's see if this one finds its way. Some may actually climb out of here, but you know what you could do? Right, go get a little bit of water. Just so we can saturate the upper level of soil because it's pretty dry.
This is at the wait. It's more worms in there.
What's that? Oh yeah, I have to get the rest of the worms out.
Oh, Daddy. I think maybe that's it.
That's about 200. I think we got 250. No, I'm gonna get them out with my hands because we don't want to shake them.
I know.
I'll get it. Yeah, we'll be back when we add some water. Alright, even when we had some rains yesterday, he's gonna just moisten the top soil a little bit. Get some old soil in here. Plus, I can't mix it up because we already seeded it, so don't put them on the worms. Just around the sides and stuff. Not so it's muddy though. Not too much. Because don't forget, this had water yesterday. I'll put some on that side. And put it where Nonno put the squash too, so the worms can go over there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember he put the squash over there. Put it through the screen. No, it's alright. Pour it through the screen. The water will go through. Alright, that's good. Some of the worms are gonna escape into the actual garden through that hole right there. So there's a built-in drainage just from where the plumbing used to be in the tub. Who knows if the bottom of this is cracked too. Alright, pour some more soil in there. Pour some more water in there. Alright, that's good. So now we moisten the top layer so the worms should be able to burrow a little more.
Daddy, what? No, it's going in again. Oh, it was there.
Yeah, they're all. So we'll put back on the glass cover, and then we'll check on them in a little while. Because otherwise, if we don't put it in the glass cover, you know what's gonna happen, right?
What?
The birds are gonna come and eat them. All right, we'll check back in about 10 minutes. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. Still a couple on the surface. Most have burrowed. And we'll start doing their jobs. That's about it. Hopefully learn some things about redworms.